Once again, we are back with you live in the Cisco TV studio here in the center of the world of solutions. My name is Steve Moulter. I hope you enjoyed our center stage session on sustainability, data collection, analysis, and management. Merida Wasaki and Colin Seward are on their way over right now to the studio. They'll be here on set in just a moment for a behind-the-scenes deep dive with Cedric. We just heard all about the complex and evolving reporting landscape and the way that Cisco is addressing the challenges, the opportunities that presents for us. You learned about the importance of accurate sustainability data, the way that your company can compile those data sets, most important, how they can create differentiation for you when you apply them for multiple purposes. So stay tuned for that interview. Right now, we're going to go out to our RF team in the world of solutions. Alpa is having even more fun in the sustainability zone. You can't keep away, can you, Alpa?
I absolutely cannot, Steve, no. And I am actually in the energy management section of the sustainability zone, and I've met another amazing person, Tripta. Hello, Tripta, how are you?
Hi, good, how are you?
Good, I'm well, thank you. Would you like to tell everyone what you do?
Yes, I'm a Director of Product Management in the Engineering Sustainability Office and Engineering Alliances team.
Amazing, an important job.
Yes.
So I'd like to learn a bit more about your world, please, and so would
Sure.
our viewers. So I have some questions for you.
Sure.
So we heard from our speakers on the center stage about how important sustainability data is. How are you translating that data into dashboards for customer visibility?
Very exciting. So we're bringing a single pane of glass with a simple, clean UI.
Right.
We've standardized on 5 energy metrics. And with that standardization, customers are actually going to be able to baseline, monitor and track their energy consumption, carbon emissions, and cost.
Wow.
And we're extending the device visibility to not just include IT devices, but IoT devices as well.
Okay. And how are you supporting customers that have their own energy dashboards?
So we actually have built a back-end API, which we're calling Cisco Energy Management Capability. And the beauty of that API is it's built to be a flexible and extensible API framework. So we are ingesting data from multiple sources. So today we are calling electricity maps for carbon intensity and energy mix data. We're calling IEA for energy cost data. Eventually in the future, we actually have had several customers and partners come to us to say, hey, can you expose that API directly to us? Because that's where we are contextualizing, normalizing, and standardizing all the power consumption and correlating it from these different sources. So at a future time, we may, open and expose these APIs for a premium, but we always have an API-first strategy. So all our dashboards do support, API mechanism today.
It's brilliant, so it can be tailored to their unique needs.
Yes, they can build their own bespoke solutions, yes.
So that's really important because I'm sure that you must get various kind of needs from customers across various different industries.
Yes. I think the beauty of this solution is it's all pervasive, it's industry agnostic. AI is wreaking absolute havoc with power consumption. It's reshaping industries and applications across the globe. But if you look at specific industries today, maybe manufacturing, something like that, where all the assembly lines do not need to be powered on. I think the whole concept of keeping a network always on versus being always ready, that shift is, starting to happen. Everybody just needs to be prepared to say, hey, stay ready, but don't need to be always on.
Yes, I think we're all becoming more conscious of it too. And
Yes.
I was speaking to Michael earlier about how it needs to become part of our DNA and embedded in what we're doing and how we're thinking. So what can our customers expect from Cisco, specifically around energy management going forward?
So much exciting stuff. I think what we've delivered today is only visibility and reporting. What is to follow is us being able to deliver AI-based recommendations and insights where customers can actually take data-driven decisions and bringing control and automation to the single pane of glass. So think about how powerful it would be if you could actually bring a simple experience like turning your car into an eco mode, if you bring that experience to your networking as well, where you have a smart power mode. Customers don't really need to care what's under the hood. They can turn their network into a place where they are actually saving power bringing down costs, and letting Cisco do the magic for them.
Amazing, and I'm sure you're getting great feedback from our customers on this.
Yes, customers are actually loving it, yes.
Yeah. Would you like to share any examples that you have to mind?
We've had several big ones actually. Customers who are building large megawatt and gigawatt data centers.
Yeah.
I think they've come and told us and shared with us that this dashboard can actually help them take decisions of whether they want to invest in colos or consolidate data centers. On the campus side, we've had a customer who's come and said, hey, this reporting capability is great because it's going to help me justify my next upgrade because there's an ROI that I can easily establish. So I think with customers actually having limited access to budget today, having a reporting capability like this that justifies ROI them helps them tap on and get like additional budget, right? So it's great.
Helping to build the business case, which is so important. Amazing.
Yes.
You're doing such amazing work. Thank you so much, Tripta. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Absolutely. Same here.
Thank you. Heading back over to you now, Steve.
All right. Thank you so much, Alpa. Great job, Trista, once again. She's been with us before, and it's always great to get her insights and her expertise. Cisco Networking Cloud customers, what's so great in what Cisco does for them is that they get this additional level of visibility across sustainability data points like energy consumption, GHG emissions, carbon intensity, energy mix, their energy costs from their production. Again, Cisco is able to support them in so many terrific ways. So great job, Trista, and thanks again, Alpa, for taking us out there. As I mentioned before, we are lucky to have the hosts of our latest Center Stage session here in the studio with us. Mary and Colin are across the way. So Cedric, let me head on over to you.
Awesome, great. Thank you so much, Steve. And I'm actually really excited to see you again here, Mary, in the studio. Thank you for being with us again. Absolutely. And also I want to welcome Colin. Colin, you're our Senior Director of Data and Technology, and you're working very closely with Mary in the Chief Sustainability Office. So how are you doing today, both of you?
Fantastic.
Doing very well.
Fantastic. Awesome. Great. I want to kick into the conversation straight away, Mary. You've been spending some time in EMEA. Like, this is not your first Cisco life here in EMEA. Around sustainability, what are kind of the concerns that you hear from our customers when you're here around like sustainability, like I'm saying energy use? It would be kind of really great to start the conversation with that.
You know, I feel like they're asking us, like, how can Cisco help? How can we help them in probably two ways? One of, how can we help them achieve those business outcomes, build that digital resiliency, capture the opportunity of AI, but balance that with the growing energy demand. I think the second thing is, how do we help them report on their environmental impact? How do we provide them with trusted data that allows them to really define their strategy, provide not only those outcomes, but also more and more reporting that needs to be done. So to me, it's achieve the outcomes in the most sustainable way.
That's really interesting, Mary, because I think data plays a big role in that. And I'm going to go to you, Colin, right now. What are our customers asking for in terms of data around sustainability, about our products in general as well? Like, it would be great to understand that because it's such a fast-moving industry, and with AI coming in and so on. So it would be good to get your thoughts on that.
You're right, it is. It's fast-moving and it's evolving as well. So a lot of the time, it doesn't even start with the IT department coming to us. It might start with somebody in procurement at a customer who wants to know about our goals as a customer, as one of their suppliers. And then they say, oh, we're going to place an order with you. In this next order, can you provide the product carbon footprint? And then it starts to get passed on to IT, and IT look at the product carbon footprint and say, okay, how do I reduce this? And for Cisco equipment, a lot of that footprint is in the use phase, so it's the energy which it consumes, and then that leads into the dashboards you just seen from Tripta. So they want to work out what they can do about their footprint, and now we can show them there's these dashboards. It gives you even more data, and you can help from there to try to reduce and manage things.
Yeah, and just to double click on that, like, how do you activate these buying centers? Because it's not your typical IT team that might start that sustainability conversation. Like, how do you start that out with the teams, like, you know, getting these new stakeholders and so on? Like, how do we go about that with Cisco?
I think one of the critical areas is almost the beauty of carbon accounting, because the way it's done, you actually are responsible for all the carbon in your value chain. So right off the bat, if I've got a goal, who my customers are, I've got to work with, or my suppliers. So part of it is understanding the location, understanding where they are as they're building out their strategy, helping them understand not just what are the technology data points or how you measure an investment, but also layering on kind of sometimes new language of what does that mean for my carbon footprint or my product carbon life cycle. So it really is a matchmaking process as well.
Because Colin, and thank you for that, Mary. Colin, in the panel, you talked a little bit that it might be difficult for certain IT teams in specific industries to kind of get their head around sustainability and data and so on. Why is that exactly?
So if you look at the digital footprint globally, it's around about 2% of global greenhouse gas emissions. But then if you look at it industry by industry, some industries have a much bigger IT footprint. So as you just saw with our guests there from ABN AMRO, when you get into the financial sector like a bank, the footprint of IT is a larger part of the overall company footprint. And that's true for finance sector, it's true for communications and media. And it's great for us because they're really interested. You give them the data, they know it's significant for them, and they want to start looking at it and working out how they reduce it. And then we learn as well. We learn about what things that we can help them with, what more data we can provide them. And as you heard with Vibran, he starts to get interested in other types of data. So he's interested in circularity, and we can help him with that data as well.
Okay, yeah, I was at the circularity zone earlier as well in the sustainability booth. Thank you, Colin. Mary, we're in EMEA. The EU is mandating more from companies right now to report on these emissions. What are kind of some final words before we wrap this up that you would like to put out there for those companies? Like, how do they get started? How do they get on that sustainability bandwagon?
I think it's first just start and understand what your baseline, and also imagine that this is financial data. So if you think about it from that lens, you're already imagining where's the data coming from, who's that data owner, how do I put the controls, how am I ready if it's going to be audited by that group that does your financial reporting. What we did at Cisco is really think about it as a company, develop the overarching strategy, come up with the same taxonomies, the same definitions, but we really focus a lot on use cases. Why? Why do you need the data?
Yeah.
And I think if you take that lens, imagine it's financial data and you treat it with that same governance and rigor, and then why? How do we really build that insights? That's where you get the value.
And I also feel from like you talking so passionately about it, like our customers are not alone. We are their strategic partner to get them into that sustainability kind of space and like to help them report, as you said, Colin, on those data metrics. To finish this off right now, I said that before as well, but we have a little bit more time. What's next for sustainability at Cisco?
I think what you're going to see is our continuing focus on not just how we can use our products and our services to accelerate the adoption of clean energy. How do we capture the AI opportunity, but understand how we invest in not just AI-ready data centers, but think about how we design the products with circularity. How do we manage it with energy management? How do we actually anticipate all the way through to building what I call resilient ecosystems? You know, we live, work, and create in the same places. Okay. So how do we build that resiliency all underpinned by digital resiliency?
Awesome.
And as you said, there's increasing people who want to have this information. So we built it as a sustainability data foundation, and now it is, how do you scale that out? So we have access inside of Cisco, we're starting to give access to some of our partners, we'd like to give access to that data foundation to some customers as well. Yeah. So we know the demand is there, it's just a question of how quickly we can respond.
Awesome, that's great. I love that we are giving access to that foundation to everybody. Yes. Mary, Colin, thank you so much for being here with us in the studio once again. I know you've been here a couple of times, but we love having you.